And the narrative, much like your question you were asking, the narrative about what was happening here wasn't accurate. It wasn't accurate. The people who were on the front lines, there were many young people, many young black folks, black women, queer and trans folks on the front line of the uprising, but that wasn't the dominant narrative.
Right.
There were celebrity activists swooping in, getting in front of cameras, talking, and all kinds of foolishness. And so that was different from what I knew to be true about Baltimore.
Right.
It was very different. My comrade, Samantha Master, is from here, and during the uprising, we drove around, and there was a CVS, I think it was.
Yes.
And there were folks going in and out of the CVS, and they had things in their hands, in their arms. And guess what they had? They had diapers. They had diapers and toilet paper, detergent, things like that. And to me, the news story was, or what I saw was a news story about looting, vandalism, savage black people, essentially. And what I was seeing right in front of my eyes were people seizing things that they needed for their day-to-day lives.
Because they haven't been given those common necessities to begin with.
And we know that Baltimore has consistently been divested from.
Yes.
Right? And how this connects to me to radical black feminism is saying that, and particularly because I organize through what we call the black queer feminist lens, is that when I see black folks coming in and out of a CVS during the uprising, like my values, like what I see is not people who are looting. I see people who are getting things that they need and that they shouldn't even have to fight for it in the way that they have to fight for it.
Things they've been denied.
Exactly. And so that's the tradition that Unapologetic is written in. It's written in that tradition of saying that actually we should live in a world where people have the things that they need. But we live in a world where some people, or a number of people have what they need and a lot of what they want. A lot of what they want at the expense of what other people need. And black feminism, radical black feminism in particular, how I learned about it, how I came into it, it wasn't in the academy.
Right.
I like to say the first out black feminist I knew was in my senior year of college, my professor, Dr. Winters. And I wasn't taking a black feminism course with her. It was actually a course on education and housing and racism, things like that. And it was through being introduced to her that I started to read more outside of school. Movements really exposed me to Audre Lorde, Marsha P. Johnson, James Baldwin, Bayard Rustin. I didn't learn about a lot of those people in school. And so a part of how people are marginalized through history is is what happens when an incomplete story about black struggle, about the black radical tradition is told. And that's intentional. There's a reason why I didn't know about Marsha P. Johnson until I was like in my mid-20s.